Welcome back to the Distressed Princess. I'm Rhonda. Today's video is episode 8 of the Halloween crafting series. Today I'm taking inspiration from some really great crafters on TikTok, and I'm going to share with you what I saw them do to make these really easy outdoor Halloween decorations. The first thing I'm going to make is the giant Halloween lollipop. I've seen these done for different holidays, different occasions, and they always look so neat. I always wanted to try them, so I'm going to take my shot at it today. And I'll throw up on the screen here. This came from Louisiana Woman 1 over at TikTok. I'll leave a link in my description box for her account so you can check out the original inspiration for this. And I'm showing here everything that you need to make your own. I really thought that I was going to make 2 of these so that I have 2 pool noodles, 2 broomsticks, but come to find out, 1 pool noodle just didn't make the lollipop big enough for me. So I used both of the pool noodles on 1 lollipop. So I'm only making 1, so I'm only using 1 broomstick. The first thing I did was remove all the stickers and labels off of the pool noodles and the broomsticks. Then remove the end cap on the end of the broomstick that you would normally hang on a hook, because this is the end that's going to go in the ground. And the opposite end, where the broom head would usually go, that's going to go inside of the pool noodle as our lollipop stick. I learned that it helps to bend and twist your pool noodles if they're brand new, like mine were. By the way, these came from the Dollar Tree. You'll need to bend and twist them and get them sort of pliable so that it's easier to roll them up in that lollipop shape. Then tape the 2 ends of the pool noodles together with your packing tape. And you want this to stay very good, so wrap it a couple of times. Now get ready to roll your duct tape all along these 2 pool noodles. And so I just started at a diagonal angle and I twisted the pool noodle as I went along. And on the ends, you can just use your scissors to trim off the excess duct tape that hangs out over those edges. Now, the Louisiana Woman used hot glue. She rolled her pool noodle up like the lollipop shape, and she hot glued as she went along. And I'm assuming possibly she had some really heavy duty hot glue in her glue gun. I don't know. But this regular glue stick just didn't do it for me. I held it in place for quite a while till I thought that the glue was dry, and I kept going along. But in the end, it all just popped right back open. So instead of doing hot glue, I'm going to wrap it all up with packing tape in the end, and you won't even be able to tell that it's there because of the cellophane bag that we're going to put as the sucker wrapper at the end. The Louisiana Woman did use packing tape just temporarily to hold her lollipop shape, but she removed it at the end of her project. However, I know that my hot glue wasn't going to be strong enough to hold, even if that packing tape had held it together long enough for it to dry completely. So I'm just going to leave the packing tape on. And for good measure, I decided to go ahead and put the tape going both ways, up and down and left to right. These pool noodles were a lot harder to roll into this shape than what I thought they would be, but it works. Then I used a long steak knife to kind of drill a hole in the center of the lollipop pool noodles. And I did this deep enough that it went through those first three outer rings of the pool noodle because I wanted this broomstick to go pretty far up as I could get it to go, so it would be nice and secure. Next, I'm going to use some of the basket bags that you get from the Dollar Tree. It comes in a package of 2. This is the simplest thing I've found to use. You could use just a roll of cellophane and do it that way, but this is already in bag form. So just stick your lollipop right inside, and then all you need to do is tie it off with a bow. You could have whatever type of string you have laying around, jute string or what have you, but I'm using black yarn from the Dollar Tree to tie my cellophane bag to the broomstick. Then just make a bow the best way you know how with the decorator mesh that's from the Dollar Tree. I'm not certain what the best way is. This is just how I did it. I crisscrossed them, I cinched them in the center, and I secured it with a zip tie. I tried hot gluing the bow to the bottom of the lollipop, but the hot glue just wasn't sticking. The hot glue just wasn't working for me at all today. I don't know why. So another way to do it is just use the same yarn or string that you use to tie the cellophane bag to the broomstick and tie your bow to the broomstick. And then you can decorate with your spiders. These spiders happen to come from the Dollar General store. They already had little peel and stick tags on the back of them, so I just stuck them right onto the lollipop. Oh, it just looks so disgusting. I was so happy with the end result of this giant Halloween lollipop. I want to make them for every holiday. The next Halloween outdoor decoration is inspired by Redux Style on TikTok. And this lady uses everything. She recycles and repurposes things that you would never think to repurpose or recycle. And they always turned out great. So I'm going to show here on the screen her account so that you can go check her out over on TikTok. Now, the lady on TikTok used an old dress form to make her cousin it, but I don't have that. So I just took inspiration and came up with my own way. And it's using a plunger, which you know you can find at the Dollar Tree. I couldn't find one. The Dollar Tree let me down. The things that they always have on hand, always, I couldn't find that day. So I had to get my plunger from the Dollar General store. And I know they have these styrofoam pumpkins at the Dollar Tree. You'll need 2 of the hula skirts from the Dollar Tree, a hat, and a pair of sunglasses. Oh, and also a piece of black material. It could be an old t-shirt, it could be a dish towel, a pillowcase would be great, but I'm using a black dish towel. Okay, so far all I did was remove the stem from the pumpkin, and now I'm going to jam the end of the plunger down into the pumpkin. And you can see it's kind of wonky, willy-nilly. It's not like a tight fit. So I'm going to use hot glue. Hot glue, don't fail me now. I'm going to use a gob of hot glue, and I'm going to secure that plunger around inside the styrofoam pumpkin. The black material is used just in case the hula skirt wants to separate or gets a little piecey, and you don't want any of that orange pumpkin showing from behind. You want it to look like, Cousin It, like there's nothing under there, or if there is anything, just a black void. You need to cinch your hula skirts tight, like, arrange them so that they're all very close together and tie it tightly. And this way, all the strands of that, I want to call it raffia. That's what I use them for. So I'm going to be out of raffia at the end of this project. I'll have to go buy some because hula skirts are out of season. But anyway, I digress. You need to cinch your hula skirts tightly and cut off the excess jute string so that you can hot glue them to the top of Cousin It's head. So one hula skirt is going to be used like for the front side, and one hula skirt is going to be for the back side. I found this hat from a Goodwill store. So I know that they have hats at Party City, they have hats at Spirit Halloween. You could find probably a more Cousin It type hat if you looked. He wore like a bowler hat, I think. But anyhow, this is the hat that I found. It was only a couple bucks. And these are some sunglasses that I already had on hand. So just hot glue the hat to the top of his head, hot glue the sunglasses. I did one dot in the middle, like on the nose piece. And then I put some hot glue on the earpieces, to hot glue to the towel that's under all of that hair. And that's it. He's done. I kind of think he looks more like a member of ZZ Top than Cousin It, but regardless, I love him anyway. The next TikTok Halloween outdoor decoration is inspired by Erika Graydon, and hers was a little different than how mine's going to turn out to be. She wanted a kind of rusty bucket look, and I wanted mine to be black. And that was just for the simplicity of it, just because it's easier. I bought 6 of these buckets from Walmart for $1.24 a piece. And I'm telling you what, it's getting kind of hard to find these buckets. They've changed the design, and the ones that you see at the Dollar Tree are not this old style pumpkin bucket look. It's different. So I was happy when I found these. First thing I did was remove all of their labels, and now I'm going to use my wire cutters to remove the handles. And just as a side note, this idea was all my own. Those handles looked like they could be spider legs to me. I don't know what you would put for a body. Maybe mold a piece of clay or find some sort of a rubber ball or something. Or they could also be eyes. I thought this was a really cool idea. I see them being put onto some sort of a sign with painted colors inside. The possibilities are endless. Don't ever throw anything away. The back to our jack-o'-lanterns, the next step is to drill drainage holes in the bottom of every lantern. I did 4 on each one. Then take your jack-o'-lanterns outside and spray paint the outsides of them with some flat black spray paint. And you might want to have a couple cans of spray paint on hand because I ran out and I had to finish mine off with some black chalk paint that didn't quite match, but that's okay because it's all going to blend together in the end when I put my clear coat. So then the very next step after you've got your buckets spray painted and they're dry is to use a very sharp utility knife to cut the eyes, nose, and mouth out. Now, this was easier on some buckets than it was others. I found that some of the plastic was thicker on some of the buckets than it was others, but either way, it wasn't a really hard task to do. It just took a little while. You could probably leave them like that, but I decided I wanted the inside edges of the eyes, nose, and mouth to be painted black, so I just went back over them with my black chalk paint. And because I wanted these lanterns to last year after year, I took them back outside and spray painted them with the gloss clear coat. And here they are lining my walkway. I put some rock in the bottom to make sure they didn't blow away if there was any wind. And when nighttime comes, I'm going to light them up with some little LED tea lights. So make sure you stay to the end to see them all lit up. This last idea, I'm really sorry, but I don't know who the original creator is. I saw it on my TikTok, on my For You page, and I didn't save it to my favorites. I thought I had. And when I went back to find it again, I was unable to find it. But what this is some Dollar Tree solar lights, and you just remove the stakes. The pumpkin heads just pop right off of those stakes, and I used fishing line to tie them to the tree branches. And you really can't see the fishing line. They look like they're floating there, and at night you have all these little pumpkin globes lit up floating underneath the tree. So here are all of the TikTok inspired ideas along with my regular Halloween decorations that I put out every year, and this is what they look like during the daytime. Hang on tight to see what they look like at night. I hope you were as inspired as I was by these awesome TikTok creators. I will leave links in my description box below for all of their accounts so that you can go check them out. If you're not already on TikTok, I suggest it is a really good resource for us crafters. If you want to see more crafting videos, just click the link that I've provided for you right here to see the next one, and I will see you next time. Bye!